All right, YouTube, welcome back. Before I lose daylight, and while I'm still thinking about it and taking a break, I'm going to go through the garden update, such as it is. It has been some good and some bad, just like about every year is, right? But as you can see, we got melons coming up here. We got melons scattered in different places. Onions, we got 3 different types of onions. They're there. Onions there. We got purple, yellow, and white onions. We already pulled a section of turnips and radishes. We seeded another section of turnips and radishes. The carrots are here. Our squash plant has already been producing pretty good. We got a bunch of sunflowers. These sunflowers showed up on their own. They weren't planted there. They just, seed was there and they grew. So we left them. We got a lot of those. We got a lot of that. We got a lot of this too. Random tomato plants. I've pulled at least a dozen out of while trying to weed, and it's all left over from last year's tomato success, and now they're just everywhere. And we've had rain the last 3 days, and the weeds just overtaking us now. The grass, I should say, for the most part, but it's been a struggle to keep up with the grass this year. It's really been, that pepper plant came up on its own from somewhere. I don't know what it is, so we'll see what comes up with that. Our tomatoes have not done well this year, so it's good that we've got some extras. Like this tomato plant came up on its own right here. This guy has just not refused to do anything, and now he's dying. This guy didn't start off good. This has been the only tomato plant we had. This one right here that is here. It just flowered. So hopefully we start getting tomatoes off of that. This tomato plant came up on its own. These guys. So we'll see what happens with that. This guy just never would grab hold. Just started dying after he got so big. This guy came up on his own, but I don't think he's going to make it. He's looking like he's struggling. So a bunch of squash plants. We got a different squash we're planting back here. Another tomato plant just came up out of nowhere. Like they're everywhere. That's how many tomatoes we had last year. They just got spread around. This is a different type of squash. This guy's gonna be orange eventually, so he's growing. They're supposed to be like 18 inches long, I believe, off of these guys. So I can't remember the name of it, but that's a new type of plant, squash. Some of our turnips are still in the ground, just letting them develop a little bit. We've got most of them, but some good success on the turnips, but lessons learned, and we'll we planted the other row and we'll move forward. But them and the radishes have been the first things we pulled. More melons here, transplanted sunflowers. So these are sunflowers that we grew. A dying bean plant. We had a whole row of beans just die out that were right here, and that's like the only one that hung on, so I haven't messed with them. Diminishing returns, such as they are. Other beans, the beans have been really rough. I don't know if we're going to get anything from them. We're going to replant some more, as well as peas, and see what happens. But bush beans, grass, Mighty's grass. The grass is useful to feed all the guys complaining behind me, as you can hear them. So that's that section. Yeah, lots of sunflowers that just decided to come up on their own. More sunflowers. I planted a bunch of sunflowers at the end of each row that are doing good, that are our plants. We got a zucchini here somewhere. Is this zucchini? We only got one that's putting out right now. There's our squash plant. This is the zucchini. Not looking good. Looking kind of peckish, as they would say. So I don't know what the deal is with him. Hopefully we've got a replacement growing up here somewhere. There's a zucchini up front that we're waiting on to grow some more. There's one over there that's young. We planted late for a second crop. That's a watermelon that grew up on its own. Just took over, so we let it run. More carrots. These guys got bunched together somehow, and I don't remember not spreading them out. But we'll see what comes of that. What's left of the radishes over here. A lot of these are pig food now, but we got some more still developing. The sunflowers that we planted at the end, nobody's opened up yet. Just waiting. I don't know what they're waiting for. But that 3 days of rain, probably everything's going to take off here. If it's going to grow, it's going to grow now. Our last row of corn we just planted 2 weeks ago, coming up. So this is the second planting. That's what I was talking about. These seeds were from 2012. If you ever have any doubt about your seed, how good it is or whatever, just save it. Dark, cool places. Don't let it get, you know, extreme temperatures or anything. It's still doing good. So that was good to know that we're saving our seeds in a good way, that they hold up. More squash. Sunflowers have decided to come up on their own. And I think we're planting radishes here. See them coming up there. And turnips are over here. Just starting to come up. Where are they at? There's guys there. So that's the second planting of them. They grow quick, so that's good. And they're real useful for animal food. And our pea group didn't do good, and we're kind of going to tear this out and probably replant some more peas. This has been too hot. This zucchini plant is not doing good. He was planted late to get a second planting, and I don't know if he's going to make it. Our pumpkin, we only had a couple pumpkins, actual pumpkin plants come up. And this guy got assaulted by the birds, I think, here already. But we got some pumpkin mixed with some watermelon, melons of some sort. So we've had some good and some bad. Waiting on the melons. It's like it's going to be, I guess, end of August before we get any well-developed melons. This is a different type of melon. I don't know what what these called, but they're like an oblong. They're looking pretty good. They were all over. So we're just trying to deal with the grass and the weeds. Can't keep up. Seems like. But the 3 days of rain got me behind pulling them, and they grow more, so that's not helping either. So that's kind of the garden update. We'll keep you guys up to speed that we're producing something. Not everything we wanted, with especially tomatoes and corn. Definitely wanted tomatoes and corn, and those did the worst, really. To be determined on that second row, but it's probably just going to be animal feed. I don't expect it to have ears. So it is what it is, but that's our walk through the half acre. Well, just a little bit under half acre maybe. Still want to plant some at the end of this row, and end of a row over there, plant some more. Once I pull the onions, we'll plant something there. I want to get some cabbage, and like I said, peas and beans. I don't know, what else can you plant late in the year? Throw it out there, we'll see what we do. What's up, guys? What are you guys doing? What are you doing, huh? You gonna say bye? Yep. All right, we'll talk to y'all later. Prep hard, live free.